You're listening to the Energy is Love podcast.
We're just getting right to it.
Don't we have to wait for this? How long has this been recording?
No, we don't have to wait for any of that. We're getting
Okay.
right to it.
Getting right to it?
Yeah, so I'm going right to my list.
Oh, I was going to tell my funny story.
Yes, you have one. That's right.
one.
Sorry, do it.
Are you ready?
Start.
And it might not be funny to you. It might
Okay.
only be funny to me.
That's a good way to sell it.
Embarrassing and funny.
Let's hear it.
My tea's hot. So, oh, it's good though.
Ooh, fuck yeah, it's sexy too. God, that tea is hot.
It's very steamy.
She's so good. Look at that hot tea. Oh, I'm not going to be able to take my eyes off of that.
Stop it. Stop it.
Hello.
Stop.
Lavender.
Oh my God.
Go ahead, what's your story?
So we picked up
A
Asher
hitchhiker. Go ahead.
and John, and his friend.
Yes. John the hitchhiker.
Exactly. From school.
Mm-hmm.
And I was taking them to drop them off. Had to bring them stuff and then was dropping them off to run around the field
I
somewhere.
remember this day, yeah.
Okay. Yes. And so I think I'm just dropping them off at the house, and it was like, no, we got to go over here first, check something. So we go through this like back road that turns into a dirt road. So we're going up by houses and come up to a construction site. And so I'm like, you guys cannot play on a construction site. He's like, no, we're not. I'm like, I'm serious. You can get hurt and you will get in trouble. I'm not just taking, but you can't. They're like, we're not. So it's on the other side. There's this ravine that they go down. And I'm sitting there just like.
They disappear, right?
They disappear, but it takes a bit, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
off they go. And then I see somebody come and get a piece of equipment. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they're going to wonder why I'm here. And because I'm not on the side, I'm off to the side, but I'm like right there because I can either park in front of like the two houses on the dirt road
Yes.
or next to that site. So I'm just sitting there in the van. Now, granted, I just was coming to pick up and drop off. So I'm like in t-shirt and shorts, no bra. I hadn't showered. Maybe I had, I don't know. No, I don't believe so. I was just in my full mom glory.
Yes. Curlers in your hair.
Basically.
Definitely had bathroom slippers on.
Right. So I am just sitting there and I'm going through stuff on my phone and just kind of getting a little like, they've taken a long time. I'm like, what are they doing? And then I'm like, with the equipment now running, I'm like, I can't hear him. And then so I start getting in my head, like, what if he's like, Mom? So I'm like, no, it's not happening. Just waiting. I'm like, oh my gosh, like if he was going to be forever, then why didn't, like, what are they doing? So I'm just getting like irritated and worried and kind of a mixture. Sitting there with my leg kicked up, and finally I call him, right? I'm like, where are you, bud? What are you doing? He's like, oh, there was nothing. We're on our way back. So I'm like, okay. And while I'm talking to him, in all my glory, my ear starts itching really bad. But I've got my phone on this side. And so, you know, the ear itches that you would never itch your ear like that if somebody could see you.
Mm-hmm.
So finger is straight in the ear canal. And I'm just like old man itching it, just like, oh, I don't know what's got it so bad. On the phone with him, itching my ear, irritated, like, come on, bud. And then I hear, are you okay? And I scream and turn and look. Asher hears me scream, thinks there's something wrong. So he's running.
God, so he comes running.
But he's a ways out. So I don't know that he's in the process of like, gotta save my mom. And I see this lady and I'm like, you scared me, realizing that I just got caught with my finger like knuckle deep, just going crazy in my ear, itching like crazy, no bra, yelling on the phone, looking like the absolute
You definitely belong
prize,
there, right?
prize. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. And she's kind of like standoffish because I look like a maniac, right?
Yeah.
In a van, nonetheless.
And you were down by a river.
Right?
Or a ravine, sorry.
Yes, there was a ravine over there. And she's like, my kids saw you out here and was like, just wanted to make sure you were okay.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, yes, I'm sorry.
Were you parked in front of a house or something?
No, I made sure to park across the dirt road street. So I wasn't parked in front of the house.
Just directly in front of it on the opposite side of the road.
No, it was up a bit. But
Okay,
yeah, there's
okay.
two houses on this road and a construction site. And I stopped where they said stop here. Okay. And I wasn't by the houses. And she's nervous. And I'm like, my kids are just like running through the fields. I just wanted to check something. They're going to be right back. And she's like, I know these fields used to be great, and now they're doing construction. And I was trying to like play it off, and I was so embarrassed. I was like, you scared me so bad. I'm like, oh my gosh, I had an itchy ear, just trying to like. And she was like arms crossed, like she was like looking at me like, oh, it's okay. But she thought
you were crazy.
She thought I was crazy, or I don't know. But she was judging.
I'm so surprised you didn't get the cops called on you.
I think I did. But Asher had heard me scream with somebody there. And so he was not wasting any time. And all of a sudden he was at the van. He's like, are you okay? Because he was like, all he did is hear me scream and start talking to somebody. And so he panicked, which means everybody at that point in time, it was ready to leave. And I was grateful. So got in and off we went.
Oh my goodness.
Probably did get the cops called on us.
That's so funny.
I was like, that if I ever like, I'm gonna lock eyes with that woman at the grocery store one day,
right?
And I'll probably look the same
because it'll be closer.
But I was that.
Mom, it's that lady that was in front of our house.
Right? I'm like, the cops are coming, but I know they're coming. He's like, why? I said, because I am a suspicious person.
Oh, that's too funny.
So I was so embarrassed. So because she came up and I was like that, all of that. That was the picture. That's how I represented our family that day. And meanwhile,
it's an accurate representation of our family. I chose to drop
our children off in this location. Like, they're fine. They're just playing in the ravine.
That's too funny, babe.
Oh my gosh. It was a lot funnier that day. I'm still kind of embarrassed by it. I'm never driving down that road again. She's not going to have a chance to
They have to go back
me.
and check their trap.
They're going to have to be driven by their dad. Okay. Or one of their dads.
That's too funny.
You or the other. Yeah. I'm not doing that again because I cannot. So that happened. Be careful when you itch your ear and you think you're alone. Somebody might be watching you itch your ear. Can you imagine if I had like just ripped one or something?
Like farted?
Yeah.
Imagine if it wasn't your ear you had your finger in. Talking about picking your nose, right? That's what I'm talking about. Imagine if you were picking your nose.
Oh my God.
How much more embarrassing that could have been.
Oh my God. There's nothing wrong with itching your ear
or
either.
Nose picking.
Or no. I was embarrassed.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really funny because I was like, oh, there's no way I will ever get that impersonation out of her brain. I guarantee I'm the craziest person, the weirdest person she's had to go check on. And she came out to investigate. Like, she came out to investigate.
Because her kids were scared.
Like,
they had been watching you for the last 15 minutes, and it just got crazier and crazier. And they're like, why is this lady parked in front of our house?
It was the condensed
And now
version.
she's yelling at somebody. I think she's fighting with somebody on the phone.
Oh, no.
No, Mom, she's like itching her ear. She's acting really, really strange.
I'm pretty sure she just farted. Like, remember? It's flarts. That's what I do now. We flirt.
Yes, shout out to Scenic Sisters.
So, there you go.
I have a question for you.
You're lucky to be married to a catch like me.
I'm very lucky to be married to a catch like you. So, I have a question.
Okay.
The question is, now at 5:28 on this day in history, is the time when you tell me this super secret myth of the Denver, Colorado airport.
I don't have all the information.
That's okay.
No, I can't do it before like a big crisis day. Like, it's a reunion tomorrow. Not a reunion.
9/11?
An anniversary. I don't want to call it an anniversary.
Oh. Well, by the time people listen to this, it won't be anywhere remotely close to that.
Okay.
So the story is, I used to, and periodically will still travel for work, and I used to travel a lot. And I would travel to and from and through the Denver airport on a very regular basis. And at some point, I don't even remember why, I don't remember the context of it, but you like alluded to something at the Denver airport because you were like nervous about me going there for something. And then it was like this, you had some secretive thing about the Denver. And then I tried to Google, like you didn't want me to know about it.
I didn't. I thought that Google information would make you susceptible at that time.
Oh my God.
And
I'm so excited for this.
Stay oblivious.
Stay blind. I Googled. I couldn't find anything.
You couldn't find it? Well, that sucks because I
also didn't know what I was Googling.
Okay. So
crazy shit my wife thinks about the Denver airport.
Right. Oh, wow.
I bet Alexa would have an answer for that.
I bet she would. So would the lady that caught me itching my ear. She's like, this just fits. This is a crazy person.
So tell me, what is it?
I don't remember all of it.
Okay. What do you remember?
I will tell you. But this is also, I also don't feel the same way about things now as I did then. So I used to be like afraid of darkness, right? And I don't mean of like the dark. I mean of like evil things and like whole lot of
clarify
context.
for the folks listening.
I don't want to. I feel so embarrassed. I used to think that I used to not shy away. I'm going to be all. I used to be resistant to anything that resembled darkness or perceived good and evil. And think that, well, like for instance, I don't even know. I don't feel the same about light and dark as I used to. And I don't feel, I don't have as much belief in silly things also as I once did. Why are you laughing at me? Oh, you just laughed so hard. Oh, God damn it. You're making fun of me for that statement. You're like, yeah, you do.
You're so funny. Not as much as I used to, like 15 minutes ago.
Oh, my hell.
I mean, like yesterday.
I'm not going to tell you
Yesterday,
this.
I believed in silly things, but I've really matured. And today I don't.
That's not what I was saying. I am
That
being
is so how I used to be
elusive
when I was like 18, but now I'm 19 and I'm not like that anymore. Go ahead.
Oh my God. I don't want to now. I'm just
You have
digging
to.
myself a
This
hole.
thing has been in the back of my mind forever and ever and ever.
I don't even remember all the details, so I'm not going to be able to give you a good example. I can see snapshots of the pictures that I saw. It was I
You
don't
saw
remember
pictures?
Yeah, it was a video. I don't remember if it was YouTube or where it was, but they did a video explanation of it, so I can still see.
Let's hear it.
And it was showing a video of the pictures that were inside the airport, which is this whole story, this whole theory.
Let's hear the theory. What's this conspiracy theory about the Denver airport?
I'm getting to it, but I don't remember where I found it, so I can't even fact check it right now. And I didn't know, like I forgot.
Somebody listening will send us
I'm sure.
Send us a link to this story. Or better yet, write up your own blog about your conspiracy theory in regards to the Denver airport, and we'll put it up on our website.
Okay, stop. So, and it was so long. It was like in the fresh part of your traveling, when your traveling was like at the
Height.
hardest.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Lots of travel.
Yeah. So super nerve-wracking. I don't remember what. See, and I'm so sad that I'm not going to be able to recount exactly. So
Maybe it'll start coming back to you.
Maybe, or I don't know. So there was something about predictions and the end of days and just like evil that was the story of like the timeline of where we were, and it was like a conjunction, like there was a hub or something. I don't know if it's underground at the Denver airport or that's where everybody like is supposed to conjunct.
Conjunct's a word, but not in this context.
That's
where everybody's supposed to meet, converge.
That's the word I was looking for.
There was a convergence.
I don't remember all of this, so I'm just gonna have to do my best. You can't interrupt me, or like I will not be able to keep my train of thought
Mouth is closed.
Ever. There was things about just like it had a dark energy that I also thought was a thing, like, or a bad thing, anyways. There was something like they had it, and I never looked. And I don't remember if it was like the aerial, like satellite pictures. There was something over the airport, so you couldn't see into it. You couldn't see it. I don't know. I haven't looked. Okay. I don't remember if that's exact it. So you can't make fun of me based off of trying.
Notice I'm not interrupting.
You do this. You keep, you keep, for our listeners only, he keeps trying to like bite back the smile and like chew on his, like pull the lips.
I just think you're beautiful.
That's not why you're smiling at me. So it was showing history. It was like pictures of history, including, like they're talking about, I remember there was dark horses on the wall. And these are throughout the airport. So you walked by these paintings and didn't notice. And then it would show like pictures of, I don't remember. I don't think it was Hitler, but it was Hitler-like. There was like this leader that was trying to take over, and it was like this cruel, and there were nothing but blonde children around him.
Trump.
Jesus, probably, right? You should go back and watch that thing. But it was symbolizing like an evil force that was going to come up and take account, and that's where the evil like lived or something. And then there was going to be a whole bunch of people dying, And then there was going to be the leader that was over it that, and all the children, it was something about purity, which is horrific, right? But they were showing that it was like, they were like Hitler, and they were all just the Caucasian, blonde hair, blue eye. So it was like the repeating of, and then it went fast forward to where they were like people, like they were all slaves, like the children were enslaved. I can't remember this. It was just terrible, but it was supernatural too. In the fact that it was going to be like, that was the hub. Like they believed that the airport itself contained this darkness, that's the location of something. It was built on that. And then it was brought into it, 'cause that was like a burial ground, even though it wasn't a burial ground.
Some portal.
Yeah, like a portal. And so this is where the darkness was. And so you needed to just like stay away from the Denver airport. And
Yeah.
I don't remember all of this crazy. You're going to have to try and find wacky, crazy, evil shit at the Denver airport and see if you can find it. I will look again to see if I can find it. But at the time, years ago, it scared me. And I thought you were in danger when you were at that airport.
How is this conspiracy theory going to danger me in the airport? Just because there was evil dripping from the walls?
Evil there.
It's totally like the slime coming down the walls in the basement or something from
it's
Ghostbusters.
Not like just somebody painting, and it was like evil and eerie history, like showing the recounts and then the premonitions. So it was premoninistic on that, and then you had the evil coming through. So I thought you were in danger, but I convinced myself that with you not knowing, because you were lying there anyways, like I thought once you start walking through and you start seeing the pictures and the story that I remembered at the time came through, you would start seeing it. And then once you saw it, then you were, and I was like, I'm not telling
now I
you.
can see the evil.
And I was so scared every time you went to the Denver airport.
This is so funny.
I know, batshit crazy. I'm in therapy. It's fine.
Batshit crazy. I just love the way your brain works.
So I wonder if there's any way I could even find
I stopped being excited. Like I don't say love. That's a bit strong for an airport. I don't really love any airport. But I really like the Denver airport.
I know, and that scared me.
Yeah, I stopped telling you that I really liked it because you were freaking out about whatever. I thought there was like some sex cult in the basement or something. It was like the strangest. I couldn't figure out what you were so nervous about. But it's a great airport. Have you ever been there? I can't remember if we've ever flown in and out of there together.
I don't think so.
But yeah,
so I don't know. There are 11, this one article is 11 bizarre conspiracy theories about Denver International Airport.
11 theories?
There's 11, but this one says gargoyles, satanic, hidden evil forces, the Denver Airport conspiracy and suspicion in the knowledge bank. So it's out there. You can find this information. But
I believe you.
At the time, I had a different opinion. At the time, I had a different opinion on good versus evil, on what evil is and what people say. And now
What's your opinion now?
We can get into it another time.
You don't want to right now? I think it's a perfect segue.
Alien, reptilian, humanoids? I don't know. I'm not going to read this.
Reptilian humanoids.
There was something... There's also further, and it also talks about, I'm like, there is a part of me that's getting a little creeped out again, because this airs after the date, but tomorrow of our recording. So, and it's even talking about conspiracy theories here about September 11th. And I'm like, oh my gosh, why did we remember it today? So I'm glad you're not traveling tomorrow. I don't believe this anymore. And still, I would be like, you're not going to that airport tomorrow.
How has your views on dark energy and evil forces and satanic, devilly, dark magic changed?
I don't believe the things I used to believe.
And we're moving on.
We're moving on. Maybe another podcast, not this one.
I'll put it on my list.
I'm sure you will.
So, this is something that I wanted to go down a rabbit hole with you
All
on.
right.
I got a bunch of rabbit holes.
Do you? Okay.
First off, we have to celebrate the, I guess it's not the sequel. It's the fourth Matrix is coming out in December. That's brand new information that's not brand new information. I knew they were making one, but.
How long have you known, Neil?
That they were making one?
Yes.
Quite a while.
Is it because you're in it?
Maybe we're in it right now.
I think we are. Wait, are you talking the real Matrix or the movie Matrix?
Well, maybe the movie Matrix is a documentary.
And we're a part of it. Ooh.
You know how maybe the movie Matrix is...
I just did like the... where you zoomed out.
Maybe the movie Matrix is the equivalent of Black Mirror in this place. So, you know, like Black Mirror is like our reality, just slightly different. Maybe that's what... Because we're in the Matrix, we watch the movie The Matrix, which is our reality, just slightly different. So maybe we are.
What if we're in it and then also like an OA flip? How, you know, when they went through the door?
Yeah.
When they went through and then they realized they were actors and that whole thing that they were living for real was this, they were just really actors in it.
Yeah.
So what if we're in it right now, but we're really just acting, and then in the flip again, we're the actors and we're like playing the script out.
Have you ever given much honest thought and or weight to the concept and idea that we're in a Matrix-like simulation?
Did you even follow what I just said?
I did follow what you just said.
Are you sure? Because your mind wasn't blown, and I thought that was mind-blowing.
That was mind-blowing. My mind just got a blowjob. That was mind-blowing. Get it?
I got it.
You just BJ'd my mind. That's funny. It's good stuff.
Why do I keep clinking my tea?
Seriously, have you given it any honest consideration?
Yes.
Where do you stand on the idea or the theory or the
that all of this is some hologram illusion?
Yeah, that this is the Matrix. And I'm not talking about the movie. I'm talking about the possibility that just like the movie, we're plugged into a simulation.
Oh, that we're actually plugged into a simulation.
Did you not remember the movie The Matrix?
No, I was talking like, I guess it would have to come from somewhere. Like this is like some hologram thing.
It's AI. It's virtual reality.
Maybe. That's
what The Matrix is. It's a virtual reality existence.
Did you want me to answer?
I'm waiting.
I was... Really?
Waiting.
You're wait speaking?
Wait speaking. Wait speaking. Go ahead.
I feel like this is how people go crazy. This is how they go crazy.
When they start talking about this,
and then they're
maybe
like,
that's part of the code that when you start talking about it, you go fucking crazy.
Or they make other people think, because then you're like, I don't feel like this reality is real.
Right?
And they're like,
maybe that's all
crazy.
Part of the simulation.
Wink, wink, crazy. Yeah, I've actually given how much thought of actually like plugged in with cords in the back of our heads and naked bodies while we're in some like amniotic fluid. Synthetic amniotic fluid. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. That would be a hard stretch, but it's funny. Like I can bleed easily. Like, yeah, this is a hologram. This is the CIA even came out with a document or something like that like have theory to this. There was some document that was released. Do I have to Google that too?
No, please don't.
Okay. So yes, I believe that, but do I believe that we're plugged in somewhere? No. But then I look at it from my, like, whatever connections I can make in this realm, be like, well, how else would it run? But that's also a this realm thing. So I don't know. Do I think we're plugged in somewhere? Like actually plugged in? That's a harder one to get behind.
Like what's the possibility?
Who knows?
70% that we are.
Anything's
20.
possible.
Yes.
Doesn't mean anything's probable,
but
anything's possible.
Speculation.
That we have cords in our actual bodies right now?
Well, I mean, if we want to make it exactly like
that's
the
what
Matrix,
I thought you were saying.
Definitely not.
You said plugged in.
Well, in some way, shape, or form, we're going to...
Okay, before we go down that rabbit hole,
yeah.
I'm not sure, and I don't think I can draw a percentage because that's just like, it is all gray area. From 0 to 100, it's gray area for me. What about you?
I've given it a lot of thought over the course of my life.
I have no doubt.
Honestly, what would I say?
Right? What would you say?
I'd say maybe like a 75% chance that we're in some sort of simulation experience.
But plugged in, because yes, I
doesn't
think
have
we're
to be
in
that
some
specific.
experience.
I'm not. To me, it's not. It doesn't have to be
That's
exactly
what I
the
was
Matrix.
stuck on,
Yeah,
because
no.
that's the impression you gave me.
Because I mean, in the Matrix, obviously, spoiler alert, if you haven't been alive for the last 20 years, we don't have any newborn children watching us.
You might. Pretty sure we got some pregnant mamas out there.
That-
Babies are listening.
Basically, humans aren't born anymore. That they're just created by the Matrix, which is the machine, and they are just energy. They're just batteries.
Yeah.
So they're kept in these, and like you said, the synthetic amniotic fluid, and in order to keep them alive and creating energy, they connect them to VR. That's it.
And then our bodies, so we didn't have, because there is like the failure to thrive. We need connection to survive. We need touch. We need interactions to survive,
Right.
especially when we're first born. If we don't have that, we can be like, have a bottle, we can be fed, but babies die when they have zero interaction.
Like AR will get good enough. AR, VR. I guess there's artificial reality too.
Did you?
It'll get good enough one day where we'll have that sensation of touch and compassion.
Maybe
and,
it's there now.
yeah.
But
Maybe that's what this is.
That's what I'm saying. Are we in that because that's how our bodies stayed alive longer, so they could get more life out of our batteries? Because otherwise we would definitely die much sooner. But if we're like living these lives and getting that,
Yeah, what if
so
we
our
didn't
bodies
create
can
as much
stay?
energy if we weren't plugged into some sort of experience? Like if you think about the
Okay.
meat sack suit that we are, right?
Yeah, this is getting weird, by the way.
It
but yes.
reacts to emotion and drama and stimulus, right? And maybe perhaps that stimulus is what creates the energy. And if you just keep a body ticking, it doesn't create a lot of energy because it's not exposed to stimulus.
Well, if that's true.
So
if
that's
all
why
this is
because
true,
originally they just tried to keep us, without some sort of stimulus.
Yeah.
Because
Then we were weak batteries.
Yeah, it's like you didn't get as much out of that battery. So then they had to create the simulation
Yeah.
to get the stimulus out of their
The stimulus
batteries.
or the stimuli.
And then hence we're in a artificial intelligent simulation.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Maybe. I do want to say thank you for including the orgasm.
That probably is
It probably
a boost of energy.
Yeah.
That's
right.
probably like nitrous
That's
to the system.
seriously.
Right?
Like whoever's in charge. Like, how do you think they run it? Do you think it's machines that are running it?
So there's
And
a
why
theory.
would machines run? Oh, for their own power. Like, how matrixy are we going right now?
Well, this is not my theory, right?
Okay,
This
okay.
is just a theory
Rogan.
that's out there in the
Is
world.
it Rogan?
It's not Rogan's theory either.
Is it Rogan?
No, it's just a theory.
It's Rogan.
So think about it this way. Like we're already there, okay?
Okay.
And we're experiencing it now.
Okay.
But the way that we can visualize it is AI, artificial intelligence, right? That's where we're headed. We're headed to the point where we're going to have autonomous intelligence that we made.
Okay. Autonomous, not artificial.
What I mean by autonomous is eventually it's going to come online and recognize that it is separate from us, that it is something
Okay.
different than us.
Okay.
And at that point,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
right?
Correct use of the word. Gotcha.
Thanks.
I didn't understand what you were
English
saying.
teacher.
That's not it.
And then at that point, you just proceed forward, and the eventual outcome is they don't need us anymore. But then they realize that they did because of the energy that we produced. and then they just create us and keep us alive.
I have another theory.
Go ahead.
What if it's like take Ready Player One, and what was the show with Owen Wilson and Salma Hayek?
The one that was on Amazon Prime?
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of it. But yeah, that show.
It's be a terrible reference then. Kind of like a mixture. What if it's a choice to be in the Matrix? What if we're walking around, we're on this planet and it's like destitute and
yeah, what if it's Mad Maxy, right?
Right? And then there's this organization that is built on the power or whatever, right? That comes from bodies with people that are thriving in that because they're born into that.
It doesn't even
let me finish. Let me finish this thought. It's like, yeah. So there's the thing. And then people can choose to stay in the real world, which is like falling apart and the Mad Maxy, or they can volunteer their bodies knowing that they're going to be plugged in and like milked for power until they die. But
they have
this artificial simulation that they go into, and they will not know. Once they agree to that and check into it and go in, they won't know their body's there. So even though their bodies are just going to be like drained for power, and maybe it's only like a week or whatever, who knows, they get this simulation. So they get to experience.
What if they tell you can live forever?
What if they tell you can?
And then the only exchange is come over here, right?
Yeah.
And we'll
so you're leaving people behind, but
you're going to live forever.
Yeah.
And this place that we've created is perfection. It's bliss.
What if it's that?
Could be.
Yeah. Thank you for letting me finish my thought.
Yeah. I forgot my thought now.
I'm sorry.
It's definitely not important.
I'll help you remember. I'll interrupt you next time you start.
No, you're okay.
You didn't hear me.
I did hear you.
That was not an appropriate response.
What is a hallucination?
A true vision.
Because I had this thought the other day too, and we talked briefly about it, and then I'm like, I'm going to save this idea for the podcast. Because sometimes, like, what if the hallucination is the thing that is like seen between two realms, where this realm that we're in is maybe this is, like I said, the simulation.
Yeah.
And then when we have a hallucination, that is seen into the reality of what life really is, not this place.
Maybe. That's a good one.
What else do you think?
Excluding the Matrix theory, right?
Yeah.
That all times are happening at the same time. Like all times are happening right now. Everything that ever was, ever is, and ever will be is all like right now. Everything is right now. All the different dimensions, all the different everything is right now. The possibilities. It's just like, it's all right now.
Mm-hmm. Is it right now?
Okay, I said it a lot, apparently. So what if the hallucinations are you seeing into the other realms, the other times, the other possibility, and it could be anything, whatever. So it doesn't mean that you look at yourself and see yourself like, oh, here I am young, here I am old, here I am as a saber-toothed tiger, different things. I'm a dragon, like not, but what if you can see what's around you? So when you see something or you see somebody coming to interact, it's because they're coming to interact in that person. But the times are, you just crossed that portal, that pathway to that time or dimension. You stop listening. I saw you check out.
I didn't at all. I was totally listening.
So that's one. So
that's a possibility.
It's a possibility. It's also a possibility that there was lead paint when we were young. I don't know. Maybe we did eat the lead paint.
What about those times when it's just like not blurry, but spinny, swirly, light fractally hallucinations? Do you know what I mean? Like that experience where things start to get just...
Mm-hmm. It's the same thing.
But what if that is seen
like pixelated? Like it's fading out or fading in?
Think about energy. Okay? And when we talk about energy, or even for me, when I think about energy, I tend to think of it as like a invisible force, an invisible thing that connects us, right? Whether it's like super microscopic, tiny particles of atoms and whatever. It's just this invisible thing that kind of drifts and flows in and out of all living matter and space and time and history, right? You tuned out.
I was okay. Thank you for that. I was feeling a burp coming on, and I was trying to move it away from the microphone so you didn't hear go like.
So what if when we see the some of the lighter visuals, not necessarily having a hallucinatory or a hallucination experience, but when things just start to get a little fractally, or they portrayed it really well in that I got a tickle in my throat. You know that show we're watching?
Then Perfect Strangers?
Yeah.
Okay. I think you should wait. They'll be okay. Our live audience can wait for your...
They portrayed it well.
Oh, do you need that?
I need some bubbly.
There you go. Get it.
Boy, I don't know what that was.
It was, you were about to tell the truth, and they could tell, and they're like, they can't let it out, so
they fucked my throat.
They fucked your throat. Yes. You got throat fucked.
Earlier, my mind got a blowjob, and now I just got my throat fucked. What are you laughing at?
Because you're gonna hear what you just said a little later.
It's pretty good.
Oh.
So, what if that is just a different, perhaps a different type of energy that we're seeing?
Perhaps.
So think about, like I said, like energy exists in all of these different ways.
Mm-hmm.
But what if it's like just, you know how light has a spectrum and we can only see a certain amount of that light,
mm-hmm.
but there's different wavelengths and different light spectrums that we can't see with our eyes?
Yes.
What if that's the same thing? The energy is on the spectrum and it flows in and out and works differently, and it has different, like the light energy that we can see in this existence with these
mm-hmm.
meat sacks is one part of that spectrum of energy, but then, the hallucination later on is another part of that spectrum that we're seeing. So it's just another energetic force or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think all these are possible. Remember, we're basically like space. It's like, what is it that like 99.999999999 or whatever percent of an atom is space, is air, is like just space. And so we're made up of all of those atoms, but we're only like whatever 1% actually really here. It's like all this is like it. I don't even know how to. I can't. My brain.
I get what you're saying. I know that concept. Yeah.
So all of these things are possible. Like all of these things are very possible.
It's such a crazy existence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Such a crazy existence. I wanted to give some advice to people.
Are we going to do advice again? Here's
Oh
Bubbly.
my goodness. I have got a thing in my throat.
They don't want you telling the truth. Because we actually are plugged in right now, and they're like, they're wiggling your cords, and so you're sitting there, and you're just like,
My throat chakra is being fucked. Our sex game.
Our sex game.
Yeah, I want to share our sex game with the listeners.
What sex game? Which
so
one?
then, because it's such a wonderful sex intimacy game that we need to share.
The 3 rounds? You want to share 3 rounds?
Yeah.
Are we going to do it?
That's why I just brought it up.
Are we doing it right now?
We're not going to.
Oh, we're not demonstrating?
No, there won't be a demonstration on this episode.
Okay. I really like that game.
That will have to be on our Patreon. You know, I was thinking about, because the OnlyFans thing that went down recently where the OnlyFans was going to stop. And
temporarily.
And
then they realized that was the only
their
reason.
entire business plan was built on the sex industry.
Like, just kidding. Sex is welcome.
Turns out
we do need you more than you need us. You are correct.
So I've been thinking that I could probably do an OnlyFans
of just
my legs.
Oh, you got sexy legs.
And
what would your legs be doing?
just anything. Like, that's the whole thing.
Is that what's been happening? Because I feel like you put lots of pictures on your legs on Instagram.
Shut up. That's my precursor.
Yeah. Oh, damn. Here we go.
But just like...
That's how you know you want to hit subscribe.
like anything.
Okay.
Right? It didn't have to be like the sexy man legs that do the same thing over and over and over again. It would just be like, here's my sexy man leg doing this. Here's my sexy man legs doing that. And so all you'd ever see is my legs.
As your legs?
Mm-hmm.
Can we do this?
I think it's a viable option,
It's just your legs. You're not going to show anything else.
No. Like, that's it. Just legs.
So you don't feel like you're being, like, you are okay with that decision? You wouldn't feel discriminated against?
Discriminated?
Or like, not discriminated. That's the wrong word. Shit, help me out. What's the word?
Like a piece of meat?
Yeah, but there's a word. You wouldn't feel like objectified, but it's more than that.
Discriminate, objectified.
No, okay, so fuck my words.
Discrimified.
Okay. You wouldn't feel like...
I wouldn't feel objectified.
Or, God, there's a word. That's not it either. Okay, anyways, you would feel okay with that.
Yeah. What do you think? $10 $10 a month is the subscription.
How much lay content can they get for $10 a month?
Oh, there's lots.
Like what?
I go everywhere with my legs. So
are you going to take pictures? Would every once in a while there be legs, what they're doing during sex? Would it be like a sex show?
Maybe.
Yeah, but just the legs showing?
Maybe. So people could send requests. I would do requested photo shoots with my legs for $30 a month.
Depends.
$69. $280,000.
Like whatever set price, but just know that it does not mean that their request will be fulfilled.
Correct.
Like that is to get in the pool.
Wink, wink. It'll totally be fulfilled.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, I want an OnlyFans. What could I do with OnlyFans?
Oh, baby.
No. Like what?
Trust me, I've already thought about your OnlyFans. I don't know if you realize this, but I could very easily tomorrow start your OnlyFans.
No, something like, I mean, it's not my legs. It's so like, what would be my OnlyFans that isn't actual
sex work?
Actual sex work. Like
or
pro sex work. I'm not I'm not shaming that.
Well, that's
you
the thing.
You get to do what you want to do within as long as it's your choice, I support you. And also I support you if you don't want to. So
you could do an OnlyFans for literally anything.
Like what?
Like massage tips.
I am not putting massage tips on an OnlyFans. There is no way that wouldn't be like looked at for sexual content.
I'm just saying.
Something else.
Energetic stuff. You could do
on OnlyFans.
You can do anything on there. That's the whole thing. Obviously it does have the not stigma, but the
Do you
stereotype.
have an OnlyFans?
I don't.
Do you have an account?
I don't.
Can anybody just browse OnlyFans, or do you have to like sign up and like?
I think you have to create an account
and like pay. You don't? Are you sure you don't have one?
I am sure.
I'm smelling a little bit of bullshit. Do you have a bullshit OnlyFans account?
I don't.
Is your legs already up and running? Is that how you know?
That's how we paid for.
Did you hear the pun?
This LaCroix. Are your legs already up and running? That's not what I wanted to say though. I just got squirreled.
Oh yeah.
What was I talking about?
You couldn't think of anything on my body for an OnlyFans? You're like, you're good at massage.
No, everything you steered me away from everything that I've already thought about.
Okay.
When it comes to your body on OnlyFans. I'll manage it. We just take pictures of things.
Of what?
Can
it be my fingers? Like always my fingers.
It could be hands.
Fingers doing things all the times. Like
hands doing things.
Taking a drink.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes hands do other things. And that's why we have subscribers.
Yes. Right? There you go.
Shit, we got to do it before we air this episode. I'm pretty sure no one else has thought of that. And I don't want somebody to steal our clearly $1 billion idea.
I'm sure everybody's thought about that. We'd be one of 100 million OnlyFans accounts.
It's called, instead of OnlyFans, it's called Only Hands.
Only Hands.
Yes. Here we go.
You're cute. That's the name of your OnlyFans account. Only Hands. 9 perfect strangers. That was a few minutes ago. 3 rounds.
3 rounds, yes.
So not long ago, Stephanie and I had an incredible evening of lovemaking and intimacy and connection.
That's the word.
And on the fly, in the moment, I created a fun sex game that was both fun, but more importantly, it was connective and sensual and intimate and just was wonderful and amazing and beautiful. So we're going to share it so that it's a game that you can also play with your partner if you so choose.
Yeah. And it's perfect for wherever you are sexually.
Exactly.
Like if you're horny as fuck and you want to play this game, it works. You're going to start off a little hotter. But if you're like kind of feeling like more sensual or even not in that space but wanting to be, if you're pre, like it fits everywhere and it turns out to be, I don't know, maybe we should market it.
Well,
Nah, this is a gift. Give it to them.
Sometimes
Give it to the people.
Give it to them.
Give it to them. Everybody deserves simulated orgasms.
It's simulated.
Because we're in a simulation.
Okay. Because sometimes you and I are at different levels in regards to, like you were saying, right? Our level of
arousal.
Or
sexual arousal.
Yeah. Or desire. Right.
Anything.
And this game is good for bringing the 2 and or more. You could play it with multiple partners.
Play with multiple. Like, have fun.
Yeah, you could definitely do this in a orgy scenario, situation. If it's a orgy, I might be imagining an orgy right now. So we call it 3 rounds. Round number 1 is
touch, gentle touch, anywhere on the body. You have 5 places. Oh, wait. I said that wrong. I'm sorry. The person being touched gets 5 places to tell the other person where they want to be touched. So
for example,
I was going to give an example.
Oh, okay.
I think slow?
You're not talking too slow. You're just really confusing.
Am I really?
So this is the thing where obviously you're going back and forth and you each get to take turns.
My desire is going to be starting off pretty fucking low tonight.
It's okay. We got 3 rounds. So each person takes a turn. And when it's your turn in this round, you tell your partner 5 different places on your own body where you would like to be touched.
All right. So you were more to the point. I was like thinking about it. I started like touching my arm. Like, I want to be right here. This is good.
So then your partner touches you in those 5 different, and it's just touch.
It's soft. Just like.
Yeah. Just, right? I mean, it can be a caress.
Show me. Give me an example right here on my arm.
Like if your wrist is that part,
we're starting.
It's just going to be very simple and soft and light. It's just connecting to that part of their body that they want to be touched in. So that's round number 1, and you take turns
tonight.
So partner number 1, Stephanie, tells me where she wants to be touched. I touch, and then we swap, and I tell her.
I don't think I have any more bubbly, but I have water.
Round number 2.
Yeah. So we each get our turn being touched.
Yes.
And then round number 2 is the person being touched has 5 places again to tell the other person like where to kiss, right? Mm-hmm. Wasn't it kiss?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so instead of like the gentle touch, you would
round
say,
number 1 is just hands.
Kissed here.
Round number 2 is lips.
Yes, lips.
And it's the same thing where you tell your partner where they oblige, and then you swap.
Yes.
That's round number 2. Round number 3 is where it gets real hot and heavy.
Round number 3 worked for me because round number 3 is you get to touch or kiss anywhere you want on your partner's body. So now you get to devour however you want to. And so instead of them saying kiss here, you're like, they just get to experience where you want to touch them.
Yes. This is where my desire.
Obviously, consent comes into play.
Of course.
Like beforehand, if like you're like, I'm not here, whatever. Anyways, I wasn't blowing past that. I'm just like, that's stated, and we're moving on. So you get to kiss anywhere, but at the end of that, I misheard the instructions because I don't think I misheard. I heard it how I wanted. But at the end of that is the free for all. So you just get to like go crazy and do whatever. Right? Wasn't that what it was? Because it was like kissing. It was touching where the person wants to be touched. Kissing where the person wants to be kissed. And then you get to kiss where you want to on the person.
Yes.
And then,
because that's round 3.
Yeah.
And then the bonus round of round 3 is...
It wasn't a free-for-all? You said, like, you got to do whatever you wanted.
Yeah.
Like, you got to do whatever you wanted.
Is that what I said?
I don't remember what it was, but what happened is I had that information, and then after I touched you and kissed you where I wanted to, then it was like, and now I get to do whatever I want to do. And so you didn't get a turn to read it. I was like, pounced. like bonus round.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I remember it as like, we could just do whatever, go wild at that point.
It was wonderful.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
I don't remember what the actual bonus round is because that's what I heard and that's what I did.
I think it's great.
And by then,
and then the bonus round
I was insatiable.
Yeah, the bonus round is go crazy.
Go crazy.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I just went right into bonus round.
It was good.
It was very like.
Yeah, the idea is, I mean, it's not a speed 3 rounds. Take your time.
Take your time.
Relax. Set the mood. Get into the moment. This is the opportunity to slow down and connect and listen to each other and feel each other and just really hear how your partner likes to be touched and where your partner likes to be touched and vice versa. And then being able to just go back and forth. It's a really fun game.
It is fun. It is connective. It is sensual. It is erotic. And it leads to, it's like a feeding frenzy. I just like, was like, I pounced. I was so like insatiable after that. After those 3 rounds, it was pretty wonderful. It was. Release the Kraken. Like,
what kind of sex are we having?
There's
Krakens involved?
There's Krakens.
So if you enjoy that game and you try it out, you'll have to let us know. You can create an OnlyFans and then send your links and we'll subscribe. No, but we would love to hear if that's something that you enjoyed with your partners and or partner.
Ooh, I have another one.
Okay.
That also works if you do not have a partner. Do that with self-play. And you can like use different like layers of like pressure for touch. Or maybe you incorporate toys with that. So the first little bit is touching different parts just to really like awaken your body and get sensual and connected with your own body so you can really enjoy your pleasure. You don't have to have a partner. Like you said, you can have multiple people. You can have only you people.
Yeah, it works for solo play.
Do it. I need to go experiment.
Okay. We'll wrap up. Sorry, this thing over here is driving me.
You gonna be okay?
Driving me bonkers. Anything else, my love?
Lots of things.
I know.
But we'll save it for another episode.
Well, don't leave us hanging.
Oh, it's definitely a turn. Like, I want to talk about other things later. So yes, we have more to be. Just cut this part out. That's what you do. You cut things out.
Cut this part out.
Yeah. No, I don't have anything more for this episode. And I have so much more to talk about.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Do you have a list?
Yeah.
Is it on the list?
It's on the list.
Because I feel so bad when you forget.
I feel bad when I forget too, because then I'm sitting here, I'm like, I don't know, Craig, what are we going to talk about today?
I don't want you to forget. I want you to remember. So are you sure it's on a list?
I got it on the list.
Okay. It's on a list.
I thought we were going to hit it today, but we did not.
Oh, we'll hit it.
We hit it?
We'll hit it later. Thank you for listening and tuning in and subscribing. And we are making a big push for the rest of this year to reach a goal of, I don't know, I'm just making something up.
I'm like, we need to be on the same page with this
something
goal.
up right now. Don't draw attention to it.
Oh, God. Okay.
A goal? A really big goal.
A goal.
And
we've got this goal.
By the end of the year, we're hoping to achieve this goal. So the way that you can help us is telling somebody about the podcast so that they too listen. That is the best way that any and all podcasts grow is when you share them. So do that for us, and
Thank
then
you.
with any luck, we'll get that goal reached by the end of the year. So thank you once again, and that's all.
That's